Let the vocals out, now you witnessing a survivor speak. I done messed around and went viral right from my driver's seat. Just like what the industry was containing. I'd rather make a difference instead of hating, complaining. So let me park the whip, it don't matter, rapper or model chick, singer or comedian, perfect. Let's park in politics. Hey, let's park in politics. Welcome to the pullover, let's park in politics. This the pullover, let's park in politics. I say this the pullover, let's park in politics.
Yes, sir. We're here tonight, Monday. What's going on, everybody? The Lockoutmen Podcast Show. Welcome to the Lockoutmen Podcast Show, where we park and politic with all our guests. I am your humble host, Lockoutmen, and in today's guest is Keisha St. Jules. Keisha St. Jules. Before we get into this, man, you're gonna have to tell me what Keisha St. Jules came from.
So basically Keisha was like my alter ego growing up, because like a lot of times I didn't want to be bothered. Like if somebody was trying to talk to me or something, so I always be like, oh, my name is Keisha. But then as I got older and I started like, you could say just maturing, like a lot of people was like, oh, she's always a good girl. So I picked up Saint, and then I'm a Joe anyway. So I just put St. Jules on it.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, you took the name, and everybody keeps associating Keisha with females of color. I'm trying to be politically correct over here.
Right.
You know, you walk up, you know, a guy walk up to you, say, hey, what's going on? You look good, yada, yada, yada. What's your name? Keisha.
Mm-hmm. I ain't say it that aggressively, but yeah.
My name is Keisha. My sister's name is Keisha. Actually, her name is La Keisha, and my name is La Shine.
Right.
Then my cousin's name is LeBron. Like I asked my moms who named me. My mom's told me her Aunt May or May. She's still May to this day, but she's like, you know, May named you and Keisha. And I was like, okay, well, who named LeBron then? Named me LaShine and LaKeisha. So when I grew up, you know, I spelled my name with a hyphen, but I just pretty much took the hyphen out. It's too much work.
Right.
But Keisha is like the don't bother me type name. You exactly right. It's like brother man come up to you like, yo, you know, how you doing? You doing good? Yeah. Well, what's your name? Instead of saying Pam or Tanya, Keisha.
Exactly.
Get away from me. Keisha.
They don't never leave when you give once you give them your name, they feel like, oh, okay, she's giving me something, so I'm gonna continue talking.
It's the vibe. It's the vibe. Like, you know, what's your name? My name is Keisha. Oh, well, my name is Sean. How you doing? I'm all right. But I told you my name was Keisha, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, I told you Keisha. It's Keisha, though. Oh, I get.
You crazy.
Back over here. All right, so let my people know where you from.
I'm from Queens, New York.
Oh, okay.
The best borough.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Queens, New York. What's up? You know, my dude D Nitty. He's from, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's from Queens. So you got that New York swagger.
Do I? I feel like I've been out of New York for so long. Like, I don't know how people still pick up that I'm from New York, and I haven't been there like in 11 years.
Well, you got that little accent-y, that little New York accent-y, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the swagger, you got the attitude of a New Yorker, you know what I'm
man.
saying?
Is that a bad thing or a good thing?
Well, it could be an either or thing, you know. It could be an either or thing, New York. Look, let me explain something to you. New York, makes you strong. Coming up in New York, I mean, if you not from New York, and like me, I'll come up there and visit.
All right.
I can't handle New York. I can't handle none of that. Even as well, everybody know as a truck driver, I can't fucking handle New York. But as far as a visitor, yeah, I'll go and visit. But to live there,
yeah,
I can't do.
You gotta have tough skin. I gotta say that, because like a lot of times, I don't know, people just, they wishy-washy. Like one day, they don't even have to know you. If their friend don't like you, or like somebody that they know don't like you, that's just what they're gonna take. They don't want to get to know you from themselves. That's why the maturity is not always there for them. I'm gonna say that.
I got you, man. I mean, like I said, let me turn that off. Oop. All right, like I said, New York, man. I mean, I do like the women up there. The women are fine. I gotta give it to you. New York know how to breed some women. I give you that. But y'all got y'all swagger though. Y'all got y'all swagger. So,
yes.
but growing up in New York, how was it growing up in New York, and why did you leave?
So actually, I liked my childhood growing up. I feel like it was where I'm from. Like it was like, how they say it takes a village to raise a child. It really was like that where I grew up. Like if you were outside and like your parents weren't home or around, and you were into something that you shouldn't have been into, which could potentially have you in trouble, and there was another person's parent there, they would be there for you to make sure that like you did the right thing, or to get you out of whatever it is if you were getting in trouble. It was really mainly like a big family, I want to say. Okay. Even though I have a lot of family there, but yeah, like your neighbors look out for you. Everybody does.
So you stayed in was it like upstate New York City, or Queens is one of the boroughs, right?
Yes,
it's one of the 5 boroughs. So now, forgive me if I'm wrong, but usually when I picture Queens, I see a whole bunch of apartment buildings.
Yes.
So is that where you from? One of the
Yes, I'm from Astoria.
Oh, okay. One of the apartment buildings got a stoop. The stoop.
We actually had like flower pots in front of ours. Like it would be a big white pot and then like a bunch of flowers in it.
Okay. That's what's up. So hanging out. So there was really a thing about hanging out on the stoop.
Yeah. I would associate that mainly with like probably Jamaica, because Jamaica had a lot of houses with stoops in front of them, but like for us, we had like just a main hangout spot. Like we had like 4 different parks in the neighborhood, so you just hung out in one of those parks. Or if you wanted to sit in front of the building with your friends, or all your friends from all the other buildings would come to that same exact area. That's all.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yes.
So how, well, if you don't mind me asking, but how old are you?
I'm 34.
You're 34. All right.
Yeah.
So you are 90s baby, give or take.
80s baby. The end of 80s, yeah.
The end of 80s baby. So you still was around where life was good up in New York.
Yes.
Good music, good time. so around Queens, around the Queens area, coming up in New York, did you? Well, I also that was the drug era that time.
Right.
Did you know? Did any of your friends coming up experienced in drugs, or did you see any negative, with the drug scene, back up in New York around that time?
So I want to say the most I probably seen about like with like with drugs was like when I left Queens and I would go to Manhattan because it was so much more going on in Manhattan with the drug use. So when I would leave Queens, I saw it, but when I was home, like in Queens, we didn't know nothing about that type of stuff. Like I don't know. I guess you could say that they sheltered us from it growing up, but I think when got my first actual vision of somebody actually doing that, I probably was like 17 and I was in Manhattan.
Okay. But you
Yeah.
stayed, but you stayed away from all of that though.
Yeah, nah, I didn't. My mom and my stepdad, my stepdad used to make sure we were home all the time. But my mom, she didn't play that. She like, oh, you want to go outside? Anytime I wanted to do something, I had to check in every hour. So I didn't have time to do like nothing crazy. So when I go outside, she'll be like, all right, I see you in an hour. And then when the lights go out for the streets, that means it's time to come in the house. So I wasn't out after that.
Exactly. That's how
Mhm.
that's how it was. I'm an '80s, like a total '80s kid. Uh,
Mhm.
growing up in the '80s. That's Atari arcades.
Yes.
Just having some genuine fun. My son. I tease my son to this very very day. Like, bro, you just don't know.
They don't know what fun is now.
Yeah, he
Everything is
thinks,
electronic. I mean,
right. He thinks fun is talking to his friends over in Germany, over it
mhm.
across the seas, online, and all that, playing Fortnite and all that other shit.
Right.
I was like, bro, our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram was up under the night. I mean, up under the street light. That's that.
Mhm.
Going to the mall, having fun, having a black book, bro. He was like, bro, what's a black book? Black book, you get the females' phone numbers. That's a black
Yes.
book. It was like, y'all ain't had cell phones, nigga. I mean, bro, we ain't had no cell phones back then. We had a black book
Right.
and the payphone. you know,
And if you wanted to go outside with your friends, you had to actually go to their house to get them. We did a lot of bike riding and roller skating in my era, but I want to say we did a lot. Like what kept me out of trouble a lot is there was a lady in my neighborhood who did double dutch contests every summer. So
okay,
she kept the kids busy. Like she wouldn't just let you be outside wandering off. Like if she feel like you needed some guidance, she would just walk up to you and be like, look, I'm having this on this day. I want you to come. But I was a volunteer for her originally. And that's how I progressed. Like I want to say she gave me a better insight on helping people who don't have. So
okay,
yeah.
okay. That's what's up. The double.
Hmm.
Man, you just threw you. Man, that just came out of no double dutch.
Yeah,
Y'all young kids don't know nothing about double dutch.
they don't. Not
I,
at all.
I don't even know how to do it, but I like watching the girls how they, the double rope and all that. Oh,
Hmm.
they even made a song for double dutch. Y'all don't know the struggle. I'm just saying, y'all
Yeah.
don't struggle at all. So, why you left New York?
So I originally came to Maryland as a nanny, actually. Like I want to say in 2004 to 2010, I did daycare, like with children. And in 2010, somebody asked me if I could be a nanny for them. And I came down to do that, but it didn't work out too long. So I got into trucking.
So being a nanny, like, I mean, you know, I watch too much TV. So I thought like a nanny would be like a rich person asking a person to come and watch their bratty kid, but that wasn't like it with you.
I'm gonna say semi, because it was somebody who like they they were they had money at that time and they needed help, so that's why they came and asked me.
Okay.
But you
So
know, the children were young, so it was easier for me to like get them to act right.
okay. So how long was it? How long was it when you stayed as a nanny? And what does a nanny do? Let me rephrase that. What is the difference between a babysitter and a nanny?
Okay, a babysitter is not okay, a babysitter basically comes and just watches the children while you're away. As a nanny, I did like tutoring, homework help. I took them to extracurricular activities, birthday parties. I did a lot more stuff with the children and like we bonded more. So like even if I wanted to do something like on my day off or something, being that I spent so much time around them, they'd be like, "Oh, can we go with you?" So like I didn't really like I didn't have like to do a lot of stuff by myself. Like even though I came down here and I didn't have any friends or anything, like bringing the kids out and letting them see different things that I used to do in New York, I would do here, and then they kind of picked up on it and they're like, "Oh, so this is what you used to do when you're in New York?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you know." So a nanny is more hands-on with the children. A babysitter is just watching while you're away.
Okay. Now, big culture shock. I'm going to assume between New York and Maryland, or is it just about the same? Because I watched The Wire. I'm a big fan of The Wire. I've seen what Maryland is all about. So you know, particularly Baltimore. I've been there. I've been there personally a few times, but I haven't seen the Baltimore on the show. I've seen the Baltimore over at the harbor.
Yes. Okay.
But was it a big culture difference between the two?
So basically, it was just slower for me. Like in New York, everything is moving 24/7. The city don't sleep. So if I wanted to go out to get something to eat at like, say if I went out to a friend's house and I didn't want to eat what they had, I came home and it could be 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. I would still be able to find some food. So here, I would go to a friend's house. If I didn't eat there, I wasn't eating till the morning because everything is closed by like 12, 1 o'clock-ish. Like even the clubs close early.
Now all of this is pre-COVID, I take it, right?
Yes, of course. I since this COVID, oh my goodness, I've been trying to be so cautious. It's just crazy.
Since this COVID stuff, man, to be totally honest with you, I've been a little bit of down, it's just so sad with all the deaths, all the things that the government did, all the things that the government is not doing, all the things that all the things that's going on. It's lightweight. It brings a brother down. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, fuck.
I felt the same way.
So yeah, so like I said before, all this is all pre-COVID. We're moving to Maryland, kind of moving at a slower pace.
Yes.
All right. So nanny, I'm going to assume the money wasn't right, so that's why you decide to give it up.
Yeah. So when I first started, like, the money was fine, but then like maybe into the fourth year, it started getting like a little shaky. So I
What
already started looking into like my truck and stuff because before I came down, I had driven down with a friend of mine to Florida. And I think it was like March, and the weather was so nice out there. And I was leaving New York, and it was freezing cold. It was snow on the floor. So that's how I got my first actual truck ride.
All right, so money was shaky. You
Hmm.
know, was it shaky because the parents was, their jobs was kind of transitioning and stuff like that, which affected your money as well.
No, because I would have worked with them if it was that. I just feel like they were getting older, so their mom kind of felt like, you don't have to do as much, so she stopped basically requesting certain things, or she would just not call me on certain days to come. So it was getting slow basically.
So you wasn't considered an in-house nanny. You was more of an outhouse nanny.
I was both. Like in the beginning, so here in the beginning, I was an in-house nanny for the whole first 3 years. The fourth year is when like I branched out and I started doing my own thing, but I would still come to be with the kids, or like if they needed something, sometimes they called me on their own if they needed something. They just feel like everything that needed to be done around this house, they was calling me for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So I'm going to start calling you nanny. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's cool.
Um, so you went down to Miami in a cab over.
Yes. Yes.
From Maryland to Florida, that's got to at least be about 11, 1,200 plus miles in a cab
Um,
over with two
oh,
people in the truck.
yeah.
How did that I, I'm visualizing the cab over, like,
Mhm.
because there's no bunk. I mean, it's like it's not a bunk like it is in here. It's more like a plaque.
But I had but that was a double bunk that we drove down in.
In a cab over?
Yes. It was a
They
K100E.
they had a double bunk in a cab over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So how did this friend kind
Mhm.
of got you to go down to Florida with him in a cab over?
Okay, so actually, it was my cousin's friend, and my cousin kept calling me. He like, "Oh, just ride down with us. We going and coming right back." And I was like, I wanted to get away.
Three people in the truck or just two?
It was three.
In a cab over?
Yes, I stayed in the back, and then they sat in the front.
In the cab over.
Yes.
So they at least had to make you comfortable.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue. I'm
So
intrigued by the story.
we drove down. Once he told me that they was going to Miami, being that I had never been at that time, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll go." That's really what reeled me in, because it was freezing in New York. So we went, we got down there, and I think we stayed for like 2 or 3 days, and then we came back home.
Okay. Now your cousin and his friend was team, or your
Yeah, he was
cousin?
teaching my cousin how to drive.
Oh, okay. So there was so that was the owner of the cab over truck.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So while he was teaching your cousin, you kind of got interested in it.
Hmm. But I didn't take that step at that moment because I know that that's what he was doing. So I was like, I'm gonna let him get into it first, and then maybe he can show me. But he didn't even finish going through with it. I want to say he learned how to drive. He just didn't get the license because he got into other another line of work.
All right. So, but you still have that itch. So, where did you go to? Where did you go to a school, or did you go to a trucking company?
No, that same friend that taught him how to drive is who I went to, and he taught me.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was like you just went up to him. It was like, so my cousin ain't doing nothing. You want to teach me?
No, it wasn't like that, but it was like all right, so we kind of crossed paths, I want to say 2010ish, and I was telling him I was really interested in the trucks or whatever, so we talked about it for a while, and he was like, he wanted to start up a new company, and I was like, I'm looking to like get into some type of business of my own also. So basically what he did was he sat me down and he had like a blueprint, like basically a business plan of how I should start it. He gave me a lot of tips and pointers or whatever. And so from there, I was like, I wanted to learn how to drive like as soon as possible. So he taught me in a dump truck first, but I was having I was having a hard time downshifting.
Yeah, that's everybody's clutch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after
you had to rev up to the RPM,
yes,
and then down, like in the car, you could just downshift,
exactly.
You could just hit the clutch, downshift, and just go. But in a commercial vehicle, you had to actually get up the RPM,
the RPMs, yes,
then downshift and all like that. So I can't, that was my clutch too. But I had a good trainer, and he kind of like, with the doubles,
tearing your knees up, exactly.
you get a rhythm with it, you know what I'm saying? And that's how he taught me. And same thing with the downshift, like you hit the I still can't, to be honest with you, I still have trouble, even though I'm smooth with it now, but I still got trouble. I ain't gonna lie. I still got trouble. I know one thing for certain. I never stall out a truck. So that was a good thing. That was a good thing. So downshifting, cab over, 10 speed or 18 speed?
That was a 18 speed K100.
You know what? You're a woman after my own heart, man. You jumped in the cab over. You learned in the cab over in the 18 speed. Wow. How long did it? I'm assuming this is like, you guys was friends and he took his time with you and everything. So how long was it when you felt comfortable enough to go and do the test and then get your license?
So I want to say, let me think. I did the training with him probably for about April, May, June, July, August, September. Maybe April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months.
Okay.
Because I was still working like with the children, so I would do it like 2 or 3 times a week. And it was actually, I had to wait till he had time, because he was working. So about 6 months, and then I was ready to roll. Like I was ready.
So you went and got your permit. Do you have? Well, I'm assuming since you're driving this nice W9, I'm assuming you got all your endorsements.
I don't, and I want some.
What?
Yes, I actually been just like stagnant like with it because I keep giving people the opportunity just to get into trucking, and it's showing me that I can't help everybody. So now I'm working on my hazmat endorsement.
Yeah, that is true. You pretty much can't help too many people. All right. So you got your license. Who was the first few companies you decided to go with before you decided to start doing things on your own?
So okay, basically when I got my license, I had already had my MC number established.
What? Talk to him.
Yes.
What? Okay. So
So
you what? Okay, talk to a brother.
all right,
You going through training. So within the 6 months, where did all of this come from? As far as you not only want to drive the truck, but you want to be the do it on the business side as well. Where did all this come from?
I mean, I felt like I was always making somebody else's business better because I'm working for them, or it'd be days where I didn't feel like getting up for work because it wasn't the line of work that I wanted to be in. So when I got in that truck and I took that ride, I was like, I like to travel. And then if I do it for free and I do it for myself, it's free traveling, but I'm making money doing the traveling, you know? So that's really what got me more into it. Like I was thinking about the whole like going state to state. And then when I go to certain states, I could see certain things that I don't see regularly. I didn't have to stay in New York or Maryland or pay to go to these places to see these certain things that I wanted to see. So that's really what pushed me to go like owner operator route, basically.
All right. So going the owner operator route, you said you had your own MC number. So what other things that you gathered along the way to your company then?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that for me?
I said what was the other learning point to gathering all the information along the way to getting your company?
All right. So basically, when I was going through training, he told me that I should try to do my MC at least 6 months ahead because a lot of times brokers don't want to work with you if you're that new. Like, you know, they might at 3 months, they might be like, okay, yeah, we could work with you. But 6 months, they feel like, all right, you've been in business almost a year. We could give you a try. So that was the first thing that I knew I needed to do. Once he said that to me, I already like I had a lawyer with my paperwork basically to make sure that the name that I wanted was good. And then, you know, I had to get all of the articles of incorporation and stuff like that. So he basically did all of that for me. And then I just had to go over it with him. Then he brought it back to me when it was a good or bad, whatever it was. He just came back and like, look, we got to do this or that. So basically my lawyer helped me out with that part.
All right. So let me ask you something. When you tell guys, you know, you what 34?
34.
You know, when guys see you a young African American, well, I don't even like using African American. we all was born here in America.
Right.
Where the hell African come from? I don't get that. I know it's politically correct, so you know, maybe. But anyway, a young black female entrepreneur in trucking, you step up out the truck, and you step up out the truck, and guys see you up out the truck. How do they? What's the word? It's on the tip of my tongue. What's the look that you? Yeah. Thank you. What's the response that you get, especially when you tell a brother like, "Yo, this is my shit."
Okay, so basically, a lot of times I get a good response out of people. Like, you know, when they see me getting out the truck, they always looking for somebody else though, originally. That's the first thing. Then when they don't see nobody get out the truck, they're like, oh, you driving that? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, who you work for? And then I'll be like, oh, myself. And then they be like, oh yeah. Then the conversation expands from there. Like, and then long story short, they want to know, they ask me for pointers sometimes, like, cause they want to go on the operator route, but they're working for somebody. So that's a lot of the times. It's good feedback from them. I have to say, a lot of women,
I was about to ask
they
you,
see me,
is
they
the good
yes.
feedback from women more so than men?
The women, a lot of women that like, okay, so let me put it like this. The women that are in trucking, they feel like we in competition sometimes. So it don't be like mainly from them, but like if I see a woman like on the street, she could be driving and she's waiting to make her turn, or she'll be the cashier at the store. Those are the type of women who always be like, you go girl, or you driving that thing, you know? And like a lot of times if I go to New York, when they see me, they always beep the horn. Like all of the women, they show love.
What?
They're not
Now,
truckers.
yeah. Let's touch on that for a second, because even though on the male side of things, you know, we get issues with other truckers, but I see a lot of females. You guys have issues too with one another. I don't get. I try not to understand that, but some females, you know, is don't like other female truckers. Have you experienced that?
Not with like I'm okay. So I did with like two women truckers that I came in contact with. One woman, I was at this unloading facility in Costco's, and I was trying to tell her, like, if you don't back into your door, the truckers are gonna keep coming and they're gonna like block you, because if they're in a door next to you, or it could be 3 doors down, they don't wait for you to back into your door. So I'm telling her, I'm like, you just got to start making your way towards your door slowly. Put your blinkers on, back up slowly. And she just gave me like, instead of like being like, oh, okay, thank you, because I'm a regular there and I never seen her, so I know she's new. When I said that to her, she just started like, I know what I'm doing. And I'm like, oh, okay, excuse me, I'm just trying to help you, you know? But I let her say what she wanted to, and I just went back to my truck because I wasn't going to help her at that point. Her mind was already set on, she didn't want help from me, clearly.
Wow. Intimidation by men. Do you feel that as well, or no?
No.
All right, that's what's up. All right, that's what's up. So let's talk a little bit about let's talk how you actually formed your business. So you got your LLC, your lawyer hooked you up with the whole shebang, LLC,
Yes.
banking, all that MC number. Do you have your own authority as well? Your own authority at 30. How old was you when you got all of this?
31. 30? Wait, no, I was 29. 29, because I'm 29 right now. Yeah.
29 when you got all of this.
Yes.
Oh my God. You 29. So at 29, at 29, you already solidified yourself. You already solidified yourself as the fact that, yo, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go straight forward. So you didn't even bother with any other majors out here.
All right, I just went straight for like self. Like I feel like, okay, so I had a lot of I asked around first before I actually like got into my own business. Like I asked a few other truckers that I know from where I'm from, New York, and I'm asking them like, how was your training, and like anything that they went through that they felt was unnecessary with the training. I wanted to know about those things, because you never know what you come into, like when you working with a company that got 1,000 drivers, like, you know, or like 2,000 drivers. They feel like they just gonna throw you in the truck with somebody who gonna train you. And then at the end of that training session, you go get your license. You work for them for a little bit, and then you're off in the world by yourself, or you're stuck working for them to pay off a debt.
Man, I'm yo, more power to you for doing it the way you did it, man. That's wow. I got to give it to you. So
Thank you.
so building your empire,
Mm-hmm.
building your empire. You what did you start with, and how did you obtain your first truck?
Okay, so my first truck, so here I was working for this. I was working for these twin girls in Maryland, dump truck. And so I worked for them. They called me all the time. They were also women of color. So they would always call me, and they're like, oh, we got a job. And I helped them. Like, I did a job with them for like, I think it was a year long, from June to June. And the monies that I had from that, like, I saved, because I was still working nanny, but I think it was like weekends only for them. So I would work during the week in the dump truck, and then the weekend I would work nanny. And I saved my money. I found the truck I wanted. The guy who trained me, I went to him and I'm like, look, I want a truck. I know what truck I want. We flew to Oklahoma. Come here. We flew to Oklahoma. Once we got there, we seen the truck. I told him I didn't know nothing about trucks or whatever. So I wanted him to to check it out to make sure everything was good. We did all of that, and the trucking company what is the name of the place that I bought it from? MHC.
Oh, okay. It wasn't.
I bought it from
Long Mountain. It wasn't from them.
No, not Long Mountain.
Oh, okay.
But so I did everything, basically test drive and all of that. And long story short, they're like, oh yeah, the engine's been redone some years ago. I'm like, okay, just give us the paperwork with it when we purchase. And when I purchased it, it was no paperwork there. So I was able to drive it, but I had to get my whole truck redone after that.
Wow. What was your first truck?
My W9 that I have.
Oh, you talking about the okay. We'll bring that. We'll bring that up in a minute.
Right.
All right. So you got that. Now you're a couple of more trucks deep. What was the few other trucks that you got after that?
Okay, so after I got the W9, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Come in. So I got the W9 first. Sit down. And then after I got the W9, I got it in April. October of that same year, I ran my truck. Ooh, sorry. I ran my truck the entire time. And I was working, I want to say I was working team, because remember I told you the guy that I wanted to check the truck out with me. Mm-hmm. So he actually was like, oh, let's work or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, we worked team, like where the wheels never stopped on my truck for, I want to say, a good 3 months straight. Like when I say it was, I'm sleep, he driving, I'm sleep. I mean, I'm driving, he sleep.
You was booking the loads though, right? Because everything was up under your...
Yes, under my company, yes.
Okay.
So we did that for 3 months, and then October came around. I found another truck that was for sale by a person in Chicago. So we flew to Chicago, test drove it. That truck is what saved my company, I'm gonna say. It was a Volvo. A Volvo. Yes.
Oh, there you go. Volvo. Well, I hate the Volvo that I'm in, but yeah, Volvos will do it. So you got so now you got a Volvo, and from that Volvo, it expanded to 4 other trucks, including 2 dump trucks.
Actually, it's more trucks than that. What I did was, yes. So I got the KW first. The Volvo was second. Then I got my cab over after that. My green KW cab over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought that cab over. Oh, so I was on the load going up to Conklin, New York, in my Volvo, while my KW. Okay. Yeah, so I was on the load to Conklin, New York, and I seen it parked in somebody's yard. And I bought it. It was white when I bought it, but I painted it the same color as my KW.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
In New York.
Okay. So you got this is a mean KW.
That's my baby.
What year is this?
That's a 06.
That is old. Now that don't even no death,
Nope.
No death, no nut, no. You don't even have e-law, so you still running paper.
Mm-hmm.
Mother, you.
Yes, that's how I'm able to make my money. How I want to.
Damn it!
Yes.
Are you now? Come on, come on, Keisha, man. Come on, Keisha.
Yes.
Come on, Keisha. Some dude had to slide you the money. Some bro slide you the money, man.
When you work and you know what you want,
some dude had to slide you the money. You ain't do all this on your own.
Yeah, no, I didn't do it on my own because I had the guidance to go the right way, but I did do it physically. Yes, the guidance is what helped me.
Come on, Keisha.
Yes.
Come on, Keisha.
I'm sorry, my dog.
You sitting here telling me you didn't go to you didn't go to a trucking school, you didn't go to a trucking company,
yeah,
and you driving a nice W9 where you had to actually open up the door to back up.
Yes, I do every time.
You in your 30s. You ain't even in your 50s. You're not even an old schooler now. Listen. You're not even an old school. You rolling old school.
Yes, I love my truck. That's what it is.
So with that, you garnered your truck. Now let me ask you this: as a business owner, because you're now a business owner, and congratulations to you on that.
Thank you so much.
6 years deep with more than 6 trucks, because I'm looking at your bio and it says you said 6, but now it's more than 6.
Okay, so this is how it goes. My Volvo, my first Volvo, I parted it out because I had a driver in it and he did not do good. So
I want to ask you how you go by getting your drivers too, but go ahead. Continue.
Okay, yeah. So that was my Volvo was my second truck. My KW cabover was my third truck. I already had I had 2 Ford dump trucks. The first one is the one that I got as a loaner, I'm gonna say. And I drove it and I was actually so good in it. The guy he wanted to sell it. So basically what he did was he let me pay him like weekly as I was working instead of selling it to me as one big lump sum. So that's how I got my first dump truck. The second dump truck, I also found in New York in somebody's yard. Like I was there just browsing. So that was 2 dump trucks, and then I got my three main trucks was my W9, my cabover, and my Volvo. And my last 2 trucks that I bought, I have another Volvo now, actually, a red one, and I have a Peterbilt 387.
So we got 2 Volvos, a Peterbilt, a W9, and a couple of dump trucks.
Yes, I got a 389, a Peterbilt also 389.
Man, and this is, and all this is coming from a nanny.
That's what I started out as.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. 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 All right. So now do you still drive? I mean,
Yes, I'm
oh,
I'm home today for this.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Keisha,
Yes.
you got trucks. You need drivers.
Hmm.
How do you go by finding drivers, and is it hard to find a driver because you're a female?
Okay, so I'm gonna say it's hard to find a good driver, period, because the drivers, when they need a job, it's just I'm willing to work, I'm willing to work. But then when they see that they actually got to put in the work for the paycheck, it's like, oh, I need to go home this week or that week, So it starts to clash with the schedule that they want to have and the schedule that they agreed to when they first came. So it is hard just to find a decent driver, like in general.
What was some of the what was some of the drivers that's been some of the that created some issues for you?
Ooh. Okay, so I had a driver. Okay, so I had gotten this contract to hold Coca-Cola product out of, I believe it was New York, and I was only going to like Virginia. So I had gotten, my cousin had a boyfriend. She was like, oh yeah, my boyfriend need a job or whatever like that. So I'm like, oh cool, let me see, because he was working for another company and they didn't want to give him grievance for a family member that passed away. So he basically quit because of that. So he came around the time that I got approved for the Coca-Cola contract. So basically I was like, oh, I'll give him a shot because he was working with somebody else. But I was like, look, give me some references so I could call around. Like, I just want to see what you're about. And he gave me some good references. Like nobody had nothing bad to say about him. But then when he was driving my truck, I gotta say, I let him drive my cab over too, and he's so young, but he was good in the beginning. Like he was always on time. He never felt like he needed to go home. So it was good in the beginning, but then like towards the end of his career with me, basically, I could say he started just making little unnecessary mistakes. Like I let him drive my cab over when we did the Coca-Cola contract, and we were doing so good. And then one day he calls me, he ripped somebody's mirror off, he scratched the side of their truck. So like, I don't want that to be going against my insurance. So I'm asking the driver, I'm like, so what you need? Like, what I got to do? I'm telling my driver, like, just find out what he's saying or whatever is the damage. And he's like, oh, I need the money now. So I basically had to give him cash at that very moment.
Wait a minute. You wait. He ripped off another driver's mirror.
Yes.
So you didn't want to go on your insurance, so obviously this must have been
Yeah.
another operator. So
Mm-hmm.
how much did that set you back?
It wasn't much. I think I paid him like $700 because I was actually like, what happened was I was on my way back to that same location. So I went and he had the same exact Volvo that I had. So I know that the mirror is detachable. So I put the mirror back in, but then the little scratch on the side door, he was not a owner operator. He was a company driver too, but I just didn't want him to have his boss calling like, hey, we need your insurance. So I just was like, let me just give it to him so we could just get it over with.
All right. So of course, did he stay on a little while longer, or you had to let him go?
So actually, he had two sons. I let him still drive. I want to say that was October. He left in December of that year, around Christmas time.
All right. So do you still have drivers to this day?
I have a driver now, yes. And he's a good driver. I'm gonna say that. But let me tell you what he do. You know, drivers are drivers. So he take care of my truck. I let him drive my Peterbilt. He takes care of the truck, but he just stick to the driver's script. You know, like me, for instance, if I'm driving, I want to get to wherever I got to deliver early, see if they're going to take this load up so I can make some more money with the next load.
Exactly.
He's a driver. His mind is, let me get there. My appointment is this time. So I'll get there around that time within an hour or two. Wait till they call me, you know. But I mean, it's good because it just keeps me with a steady driver instead of somebody who's just like always on the go, like have other things on their mind other than driving.
How is it? How is it to get them to see your vision? Because when, of course, us drivers call, they'd be like, "Yeah, we want to get on with you, and we want to drive, and we want to do this." But you know, when they start seeing what's coming in your pocket, and then they start seeing what's coming in theirs, that's where the problem comes into play.
Right. So, excuse me. Basically my agreement with my driver right now is I pay him per day. So like I keep him on the East Coast right now, like all up and down the East Coast. But I tell him I gave him a set amount per day that he can make as long as there's no late fees or anything that'll take money out of my pocket or like my company pocket. If he's doing everything right by the book, he knows that he got a set amount of money already coming to him for that day. So he's already like, okay, well, you know, I'm giving him more than these truck drivers are getting anyway. So
okay, that's what's up. That's what's up.
yeah.
Now, what about your dump trucks? How do you run that through? Do you run that throughout the entire year, or is there a season for it, or what? How you run them?
So I try to do my dump trucks in the summer months and like May-ish to October, because October is like when the tractor trailer work basically picks up. So I try to keep the dump trucks running around that time. But other than that, like when I take them off the road, I just try to make sure I got them tuned up and ready to go for the next season. I also like to keep them ready for the snow just in case.
Can you use those dump trucks as like snow plows?
Yeah, I have snow plows, but I mean, I've been waiting for snow for the last 3 years in Maryland. We ain't getting none, so they
Get out. Come
yes.
on now. You ain't getting no snow up in Maryland. Come on.
No.
We just
And I'm so mad because 4 years ago, right? 4 years ago, before I got my plow and spread and all of that, 4 years ago, the snow came so crazy. So I was like, oh, I know next year it might come good. So I got everything set up. Man, we ain't getting no snow like that since.
Never happened. Never
Yes.
happened. So tell us, Keisha, because I am so intrigued of your story, man. I mean, wow. I mean, the young lady from Queens, a nanny, and you're the. I mean, what's the name? What's the name of your company if you want to give that information out?
Oh, okay. It's Triple M Transport Trucking.
Triple M Transport. Where did the name come from? Because it's showing Keisha.
Yes.
But where did the name come from?
Okay, so the name is basically the kids that I used to watch. All their name starts with an M, and my name is Mia. So them two and mine. So it's just Triple M.
Triple M Transport. That sounds pretty awesome, man. How long and again, how well you've been at it for 6 years, but you just been heavy at it for this long. Do you now? Let's give a little bit about let's get a little bit of personal right quick. So, uh, being that you this and I'm going to say you're this strong businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
You drive, you not only drive but you run your business. Do you have time for a relationship?
I don't really think about those really much. Like, I'm trying to keep my business afloat, like, and I want to keep my head clear, because if I get wrapped up in something like that, like, I probably wouldn't. I would. I don't know. I just don't make time for it like I should. My downtime is family time with like my siblings, my mom, stuff like that. I don't base anything on like no other guy or anything.
All right. So do you have any kids?
No.
Now, with that, what you said in the green room, by not having kids, that pretty much kept you much more grounded and kept you much more focused on what you're doing right now. So is there, I mean, you achieving everything that you got right now. Is there anything else for Keisha to achieve?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I want to buy a house soon. So, that's why I got the driver and I'm driving myself. I got a few interviews coming up for, like, I have a woman from Virginia who wants to drive. And actually, the person who referred her to me is like a young man who came from the exact same place that I'm from. He's a driver also, but he's in like Texas. So he used to train on the East Coast before he went over there. So I had put an ad out basically, and I was like, oh, I'm looking for drivers, and he gave me two people that he trained. So I'm actually going to interview them like within the next 2 weeks.
So what ad do you use? Do you use what is that? Craigslist? You
Yes.
use that? What about Indeed? You use that as well?
Say it again. I can't hear you.
Indeed.
Oh no. Okay, so I don't use Indeed. I've used Craigslist. I actually did the truck. There's a truck magazine that's usually at the
truck stops.
Yeah, I used one of those before. Like, I don't really go too far away from what I know, but I also do Facebook too.
So, Keisha, an interview. What's the interview? What you like?
We're gonna ride in this truck. We're gonna see how you shift these gears. If I'm letting you drive one of those, and basically, I want to see where your head is. Like, what's your main focus? Like, what made you feel like you want to drive with me, for me? And I want to see, like, basically how you maintain yourself in certain situations. So it's basically me getting to know how they move around the truck.
Now, do you consider yourself like in competition with other owner operators? Because, or let me rephrase that. Like I check out. I know a few YouTubers. I don't know if you're heavy on YouTube or anything like that, but I know a few YouTubers that that went through their thing, got their success. They hustle hard, and now they running their own business and things like that. I just kind of think that just a little bit too much info on YouTube. Just a little.
Yeah.
But what about but you yourself being in the same thing, 6 years deep, started, I mean, you started from the ground all the way up without, you had your help, of course. You had your help, and you're not afraid to say that you didn't have help.
Right.
And now that, and now you're at where you at, how do you feel about YouTubers? How do you feel about YouTubers kind of like explaining their journey the same way, if I'm saying that right?
I really don't feel a way. I mean, I feel like everybody has their own way of explaining or expressing how they got to where they're at in life. And I don't know. I've never been so open that I feel like everybody should know my every step or see everything that I do, which it could help some people, but some people look at it as like bragging or like just like you're boasting and stuff. Like, that's not me. That's not the type of person I am. So to each his own, I'm gonna say. But if that's how they want to show their story, more power to them. I don't feel like I'm in competition with none of them, because we in the same field, but we're not in the same lane. Like, I'm driving my speed, you doing yours. So
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, what do you feel? Now, let me ask you this: how do you feel about how do you feel about this? You're an excellent person to come and pick your brain. You know what I'm saying? From where you at, from where you was to where you at right now, you got a lot of knowledge up there.
right.
How do you feel about sharing it? Like, if somebody actually, wants to pick your brain, how do you actually go about sharing it? And I think you probably might have an idea where I'm going with that without actually saying it.
So I'm always open to give the game, because I feel like if you can't teach somebody it personally, if you could show them the way to it and they take that route, I mean, I want to see everybody succeed. I don't care who you are. Like, I feel like if I got it and you need it, I'm willing to give it to you, bare, like all of it. Like, I don't want to half step or give you some, or like, I want you to know from step 1 to step 30, if it take, how to get there and not make the same mistakes like, that I did. If I could prevent that for you, because some people learn from those mistakes by actually going through them also.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So house in the future, relationship in the future, kids in the future?
My mom keep asking me the same question. Maybe it depends, because if I that means that, like, I would probably do that when I know that I'm not going to be trucking anymore, because I like getting up, going, traveling. So when I know that I'm not going to be out there on the road, maybe I'll think about it then. But right now, no.
So you're not ready for somebody to drive this bad boy yet?
No, no, not yet.
Oh my God, that is a nice truck, Keisha. I gotta
That's my
admit.
baby.
And is the trailer yours?
Yep. And you don't see them. My trailer skirts and my reefer the same color as my truck.
I see. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So you're hauling reefer. Where?
And that's the trailer that I brought with my Volvo.
This right here? Okay. Now, since you hauling reefer, you make do you make more money hauling reefer than driving, or do you just got the reefer because you can haul either or?
Okay, so I'm a be 100%. When I do reefer loads, I have a good, see, look, those are my two cabovers. So I do make more money reefer, but I have I'm gonna say I have this pretty good relationship with my brokers. So my brokers call me 9 times out of 10 with hot loads. So I be like this. When they calling me, I know like it's something that they calling me for that need to be moved like next day. So I'm calling my partner like, look, I got a team load going down here, coming back. I need you to work with me. So yeah. I make a lot more money when I do reefer than I do dry van.
All right, man. That's what's up, man. Well, Keisha, I do appreciate you coming on, sharing your story. I am very inspired. I mean, there's not too many people that inspire me, but
Mm.
you're one of the people that's on my list that I'm inspired by, because your story, is such it's such amazing. I
Yeah.
mean, considering, I mean, you came into the industry as a nanny. I mean,
Mhm.
you ain't say nothing about, well, I was born, it was in my blood, uh, it was in my blood,
You
and
know, my
born.
granddad actually did drive trucks though.
Okay.
Yeah. So like when I first got into it, my mother kept telling me, she's like, oh, your grandfather used to drive trucks. But that was before he went to the army. So he did that. Then he came home. And I didn't get to experience the trucks with him, but I can say that any chance I get, my mother's in a truck, my sister's in my truck, my brother, like my cousins, anybody that is in my family, they know if I'm in the town, guess what? You coming to get in this truck.
You know what, Keisha, you was the definition of a female that, if you want it, you get it.
Yes. It's never about where you came from, it's where you're going.
Well,
Yes.
well spoken. Well spoken.
Hmm.
I mean, it's like I said, you are that woman that, if you want it, you get it. And so far you keep doing the damn thing, and I do appreciate you coming on. You are a citizen now, so if you want to come on and promote your company or and all like that, if you need any more drivers, man, that definitely let me know. I'll get you on, and we'll chop it up. We do follow-ups and all that good stuff, man. What's next for you? You're home today, so what's next for you? Where we going tomorrow?
So I'm actually staying home this week. I'm going to Florida on Friday and I'm staying. So I'm staying home today. Tomorrow I'm gonna go see my mom on Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I'm gonna be on my way eastbound and down,
So how long
loaded up and trucking.
how long we gonna stay in Florida for? Or is that a
I'm probably gonna
vacation?
say no. I'm working, but it's probably gonna be like a week.
Oh, okay. So you just gonna go ahead and just take loads.
Hmm.
Um, I know I didn't touch on this, but uh, how many brokers do you have? Like, or do you work with not only just brokers, but I'm hearing a lot of people talking about spot market. Is that the same as a broker as well, or is
Um,
it?
So I don't really deal with spot market because I feel like I don't know them people like I should know them. Like sometimes you might get a load from somebody you don't know, do the load successfully, and you might not get paid. So I stick to what I know. I know my brokers. Okay, so let me tell you, my favorite broker, he retired, but he got his girlfriend to work with me. She still works for the company. So I have him for Coyote. I have a TQL broker. I got about four because I have like Scotland and there's this other company. I know the brokers personally, so I don't really be calling their company. I call their
Yeah,
cell phone, so they call
yeah,
mine.
yeah. You don't have to. I mean, you can, but you don't have to.
Right.
Keisha, early this year, or this year, God damn it, man, we're in the new year. Early
Yeah.
last year, there was a thing between the truckers, or there was a thing between owner operators and the brokers back then. The owner operators felt that they was getting shortchanged. They said that they need, that they want more transparency in the rates that they was getting. And then COVID happened.
Yes.
What's your feelings about when they all went to the White House last year to see if they can, do something do something with the brokers? And then my second question is, how did a COVID affect you?
So I did like the fact that they went up to the White House to get that handled. I feel like a lot of times, like certain brokers, like they want you to run so many miles for so little money. So when you get a good broker that's willing to pay you for the miles that you're running, or they'll pay you nicely, like you try to stick to them, because a lot of times they do keep more money than they should. I mean, everybody's entitled to their share of the money. I want everybody to make their money like equally, but if I'm doing all this hard work, I want you to pay me for the work that I'm doing. Don't pay me lesser than I deserve because you feel like you want more money.
All right. So how do you feel about, we'll get to the COVID question in a minute, but how do you feel about new? Well, you was new once. All right. We can rewind that back a little bit. You was new once, like you said. You want, your partner told you to get at least 6 months in so that you can start getting, with some of the brokers and start messing with you. You was new once, but what do you feel now about the new company drivers that's transitioning into owner operators, and they're taking loads less than what you guys are taking them for?
I mean, they're taking the hit for them own selves because, like I said, I stick with my brokers that I know. So, I mean, they are messing up. I can say that they're messing up the game completely, because when they want to do the loads for so cheap, every broker feel like they could get somebody to do the load for that same amount of money. So they'll book a load with you for a nice price that, like, it equates to you going down there spending the fuel money. Then somebody else will call about that same load and do it for cheaper. And then they're like, oh, they're not moving the load anymore. They'll tell us that. So, like, I feel like once they learn the game fully, they'll know their worth, and they won't be lowballing to move freight for nobody.
Now, I talked to a few brokers myself. I'm my show is diverse to everybody. No bias or anything like that. But when they get a load, when they book you for a load, they say you call them up, you say, hey, I see this load right here, bam, bam, boom, book me. They say Keisha, triple M transport, boom, check. You on your way, you on your way down, you on your way to pick up the load. You get there, say like you about 5 minutes out, and then boom, you get a call. That's how it is. You get a call and be like, yeah, the load's not available no more. Only to come and find out that somebody lowballed you for that load.
Yes.
How did that? Now I know that pissed you off big time.
Yes, because I like when I get my loads, I already have my schedule planned out. Like if I get the load and they're like, oh, it's yours or whatever, I'm already looking on the load board for something from that exact place that I'm dropping to the next place I want to go, or the next place that's showing that there's some money coming out. So I hate it when that happens. I can actually say that last week I did a load. It was picking up in New Jersey, and I was supposed to take it down to, I think, North Carolina, South Carolina, one of the states. And I was at the facility waiting, and I want to say I was there for about an hour, and then a broker calls me and says, oh, they moved that load yesterday. Do you know how furious I was to know that I was waiting
at the place,
at the actual loading facility?
How do you recoup from that? How do you get the brokers to give you your time money?
Okay, so I just be like, look, this is not how we do business. This is very unprofessional. And like basically what they do is they'll give you cash for no use of truck, but you being that you still there or you moved or like you might have took your truck off for another load for them, they'll reimburse you for that. Like they won't give you the full monies for the load, but they'll give you something.
Wow.
Yes.
It's not enough though, because you already wasted your time and your fuel. Yes. It can't be enough to cover that. All right, so Keisha, how did COVID affect you last year?
So in the beginning, I'm gonna say it affected me because I was even scared to go out. You know, like I didn't wanna go to, like, I'm from New York, but when I tell you, I think when the COVID first happened, I did one load to New York, and it was after it was like around for 2 months already. Like my brokers, what they do is they call me basically for the hot loads that's going to New York. So they were calling me all April. Oh, sorry, hold on.
New York was hot at that time too.
Yes. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so I basically what I did was every time they were calling me about those loads, I was like, look, I can't go up there right now. COVID is too crazy. I didn't see my mother for like so long. Like even when I did go up there for that one load that I did, I didn't even go to my mom's house because I was afraid. Like my mother is older, you know, she's not that old though, but like it's just the fact that I didn't know like if I could be a carrier, because you know they say some people are asymptomatic and stuff like that. So to prevent anybody from getting sick, I just didn't go around anybody. I stayed in my truck. I kept my mask on. I kept my sanitizer, my spray, everything just to be safe. But after that, I'm going to tell you that the load boy went up. So it was time for me to get back on that road for real.
You say you was trying to chase that cheese.
I did. All I did was I got me a pair of gloves. I got my mask. And I'm like, look, when I get out this truck, anything I got to touch, I always got my gloves on. Keep my mask on. When I get back in the truck, I'm good. I got my sanitizer right there. As soon as I get in, spray it up, rub it down.
That's how I got the same thing. I got my mask on, you know, get back in the truck, hit that sanitizer, and then move on to the next, man. Well, Keisha, thank you very much again for stopping by the Lockoutmen podcast show tonight. I really do appreciate you coming by. Keisha, everybody.
Yeah.
Keisha St.
Yeah.
Keisha. Don't bother me, Keisha.
Gosh.
I know I asked you about, you know, guys being intimidating and everything, but have guys in the past that try to you know that try to shoot their shot with you, you know, truckers and all like that, have any of them tried to shoot their shot with you?
Yeah, I mean, so basically when they come at me like that, I just like, I don't want to be rude or mean, so I'm going to be nice, we talking or whatever, but I just tell them, look, no, I'm not interested, you know? I don't want to be rude. I don't want anybody to feel away. And I'm so used to that New York mentality. Like, you know, guys in New York when I was growing up did not like rejection. So it was always something bad coming from it. You know, once you be like, oh, I'm not interested. So I'll talk to you for a little bit, but if I'm not interested, that's just what it is.
Do you let's say if a guy did shoot his shot at you, would you let him know that you're a trucking company owner, or would you just want him to like you for who you are?
No, I'm not telling nobody that I'm an owner operator. Like, know me first, and then once you get to know me, you get to know my personal business. You know, other than that, no.
There you go. That's how it should be done.
Mm-hmm.
So Keisha, what advice, man? What advice do you have for some of these females that's interested in coming into the game? Do you think they should go the same route you went?
Yes, actually, I'm gonna say do your MC ASAP. Get your DOT numbers ASAP. You know, like start establishing your relationships with these people. Like you don't actually have to be running for them yet, but you know, like when you could just practice calling for loads. Like even though you're not really getting it right now, you getting into the field. So to call a broker and just ask like about the load details and stuff like that, you get to let them know if you're interested or not right there. So practice everything before you actually step out.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's one to grow on, everybody. Well, Keisha, again, thank you for taking the time out for coming on. Thank you for blessing the podcast. And you, man, you stay blessed. Much success to you, and much success that comes to you. Again, you are part of the community now. So, Lockoutmen community, thank you. If there's anything you need, feel free to reach out to us, and I will do everything in my power to, help you out or promote you or anything like that.
Thank you. But you can tell them.
Oh, we're going to tell them.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is
go ahead.
I'm opening a dump truck.
Wait. Hold on, right quick. Hold on. There you go. Talk to them.
All right, people. So I'm actually expanding. I'm opening a dump truck only division, paper chase coming soon. So I'll be looking for drivers. I'm actually looking for more dump trucks. It's only going to be dump trucks on this on that line. So I'll be looking for everybody. Like the support is here. If you need it and you serious, give me a call. Check me out.
How do they get it? How do they get in contact with you? Do you have a website, phone number, whatever? What?
Yeah, so my Instagram is Keisha St. Let me spell that out for you because it's not exactly how it sounds.
Hold on, right quick. Hold on. There you go. Right there. That's
it.
Right?
K3ISHA5. Keisha St. You can see it right there. And also on Facebook is Queen Keisha. That's KWEEN. Queen with a K because I'm a king too. Keisha.
Hold on. You say spell that again?
Oh gosh.
Queen K
EEN.
EEN.
Yes. KEI.
KEI.
SHA.
SH. Oh, that might be it right there. Hold on. This it right here?
No.
The
second one.
Oh wait, right here.
This is I'm kind of new to this, so I'm working on it.
I know, right?
Yes.
All right. So this is your Facebook page. Do you have a
company page?
Yes. Or website?
I don't as of yet. I actually had somebody working on my L.O.M website, but in the middle of them getting it established, they got into some trouble. So yeah, I'm doing everything like by myself now from scratch. And I have my little sister who went to school and my cousin who actually got a degree in that field. So we all working like together now because I want to say I wasn't really into like the social media thing. Like I really got into it since I've been trucking. And once I took it serious within the last 2 years, I would say, that's when I was like, you know what? I gotta expand my brand. I gotta let these people see, like, this is really me. This is what I do 24/7. So yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up, Queen. Well, again, Queen Keisha, thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. So I'm about to go ahead and let you go.
Thank
you. Have a blessed evening. Go and get yourself and enjoy the rest of your week.
Yes, thank you so much, Sean. It was nice meeting you, speaking with you, and just giving you
my pleasure. All right, take it easy, and I'm out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for the Lockoutmen podcast show. Keisha, you don't have to go nowhere yet. That's going to do it for the Lockoutmen podcast show for Monday the 18th. Yeah, this month is going real quick, don't you?
Yes.
See, I told y'all. Told y'all it's going real quick. But anyway, thank you guys for coming in and rocking out with me. I know I didn't acknowledge any of you guys, and I want to apologize for that. But as you guys could see, the interview with Keisha was a beautiful one. And I didn't want to break up the monotony. I mean, the momentum of our conversation that we was having with each other. So I am going to acknowledge you guys now. So thank you for being here, Johnny C, Mr. Minister and Reserve Deacon, Mr. Terry Jones, Wise Al, my G as always, Mom Deuce. As always, Mom Dukes give us the claps. Thank you very much, ma'am. Teddy the trucker is in the building. He said, "What's up?" Lex says, "Great interview. Salute to Lockoutmen and Keisha. Thank you very much." My man David Copeland checking in as Absolute Abs and Fitness. Definitely check out that interview I had with him. And everybody else that's coming in on the replay, thank you very much for being here. If you like content like this and more, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that bell and that all button. I really do appreciate all of the support. That's about it. I think, do I have to say anything else, y'all, that y'all don't already know? I didn't think so. So we about to get on up out of here. Whoops, wait a minute. I hit the wrong button. There you go. Right there. You guys have a blessed one, and I will talk to you in another one. Peace.
I go inside the meet, take a
Cause baby, once I'm gone, I ain't coming back. You gon' have to settle with another man. But when you realize, don't be running back. Ain't no sunshine